in the last few years. There was an interesting report from Southwark Council that lots of other councils have put their name to, that showed a 644 million loss, or debt, if you like, from that rent cap. So there's a huge amount of money that basically the sector is asking government to help find in order to just almost get back to starting at zero, to even get back on an even keel, to start thinking about developing and having more money to put into looking after existing homes. And we know a lot of the homes in the country are old and leaky, and in terms of energy efficiency, and needing a lot of investment. So we have to see housing as an investment in the social sense, and not as a kind of pension fund investment. People and capacity is a massive one. I was at a round table with Chartered Institute of Building at the Labour conference, where people from across the sort of construction sector were talking about the challenges in terms of pipeline of people coming through, the ageing demographic of people working in the trades. Obviously, post-Brexit, we've got a lot less people from outside of the UK working. We've got to have people to actually build the homes, and we've got to have the skills to go with that. And that isn't something that happens overnight. And however much money you throw at it, it takes time. So these are some really big challenges that the government's looking at cross-departmentally, and we've talked about the constraints on the public finances. So it's a bit like that sort of post-World War II mentality, I suppose, we're all hoping government will kick in with, of, you know, back then, when obviously the country really didn't have much money and everything was quite broken. Out of that was birthed the National Health Service, and social housing really took on, and, you know, there was a sense of hope, but there was an investment that had to be made and sacrifices to do that. And I think we're probably back in that sort of space, so we need to see if that comes through. But at the moment, you know, there's the headline, things will get worse before they get better. I think clearly the government is recognising it perhaps needs to inject a bit more hope, so hopefully we'll start to see that. But just to give a sense of kind of the scale of the challenge, I've put Milton Keynes on there as an example of a new town, because where we're going to see some of the big numbers coming through in terms of housing supply is going to be these new towns. People will be familiar with Milton Keynes. But I was on a panel the other day where someone was saying, actually, to talk about, to just get a sense of the scale of the challenge, we're talking about building 2.5 Milton Keynes every year for the next, 5+, 10+ years, just to get close to that. So it's a lot. And of course, it's not going to just be the big new towns. It's going to be the incremental growth, urban extension, homes in the rural areas as well. But there's an awful lot to do to get close to it.